Welcome to Clarity Currents, the secret podcast with me, Danielle Laura, where I share weekly channeled messages about the energetics of the week and the areas of opportunity so you know how to work with the energy rather than in resistance to it and know how to leverage it for your highest level good in your business, relationships, health, wealth, spirituality, and legacy. This is Clarity Currents episode for the week of September 8th through the 14th, 2025. Let's dive in. When I tune into the overall energetics of the week, I see a vision of a butterfly struggling out of its cocoon mid-storm. Lightning is flashing, but its wings are forming anyway. This is a metaphor about this is a week of necessary tension that births clarity. The collective field is full of raw rewiring, especially in the areas of old beliefs, outdated values, emotional courage, and practical alignment. There's a stripping down occurring, a stripping of old stories that you've outgrown, identities that were never really true, and timelines that were never truly yours. You're being invited into a new chapter, but the door only opens when you lay down the weight of what no longer matches your frequency. This is not a week to push or force clarity. There may be moments of fog or inner resistance, even grief, but all of it is the frequency of breakthrough. So allow yourself to feel what is surfacing, be willing to surrender your plans so you can receive the divine blueprint. Business for the week of September 8th. When I tune into the energetics of business this week, I see a stack of contracts catching fire. Each page starts burning until slowly one single golden scroll remains. This is a week to release any obligation, offer, or partnership that no longer serves your true essence, especially those rooted in outdated versions of success or identity. The fire you feel is purification, not punishment. There's also a spotlight on where you've been overworking in ways that don't bring reciprocal joy or energetic return. Your job is to follow the clarity, not the conditioning. Questions that you can ask yourself are, what business decision would feel most scary because it's the most true? Where am I still performing in business instead of expressing? And if I were to build from my next level identity, what would I create then? By the weekend, you'll feel a shift in a deeper desire to only build from resonance. Relationships for the week of September 8th. When I tune into the energetics of relationships this week, I see a vision of two people standing back to back, but slowly turning towards each other as the fog lifts. Emotional tension may flare midweek, especially around the needs for validation, emotional safety, or feeling misunderstood. Triggers are going to point to unprocessed layers, especially ones that you thought you had healed. But these very moments will offer soul-deep transformation if you lean in with bravery and compassion. If you are in partnership, old stories around power dynamics or even self-worth may surface, but be present, be honest, and don't be afraid to initiate conversations that you've been avoiding. And if you're single, this is a week to release the idea of ideal and tune into truth. You'll attract what you're finally willing to receive. The invitation is to use your voice, say the thing, let love be real, even if it's messy. Health for the week of September 8th. When I tune into the energetics of health this week, I see a glowing root system pulsing beneath the earth, but one major root has been messed up, which is blocking the flow. This week spotlights the root cause of physical symptoms you've been either normalizing or ignoring. I do see an emphasis on emotional inflammation manifesting as physical stagnation. So that might look like feeling exhausted, reactive, or even noticing digestive or hormonal imbalances. This is your body speaking. The medicine is practical care and emotional honesty. This is the week to eliminate what causes chronic stress or inflammation. Drink deeply of grounding practices, being in nature, warm meals, embodied movement, and let stillness be your supplement. There is renewal in honoring the interdependence of your body and your soul. Wealth for the week of September 8th. When I tune into the energetics of wealth this week, I see a vision of a treasure chest half buried in the sand. The sun is hitting it just enough to reveal the outer corner. You are on the brink of a financial breakthrough, but it won't come from chasing. It will come from allowing yourself to receive in new ways, even if that means shifting direction or surrendering a fixed plan. There may be moments of financial tension or decisions that test your trust, but they are clarifying what you're building wealth for and aligning your values with your actual value. Ask yourself, where am I gripping to a financial identity that no longer serves me? What new paradigm of wealth wants to emerge through me? Your invitation is to play with money this week, even if you're in a serious season. Let it be joyful again. That's where the flow returns. Spirituality for the week of September 8th. When I tune into the energetics of spirituality this week, I see this single white dove carrying a scroll through a thunderstorm, determined to deliver the message. That's your soul this week. It's unwavering. You are being driven by divine direction, but it may come in different ways than you are used to, not your usual spiritual practices. So be open to unexpected channels. This could be a conversation, a song lyric, or even a moment of silence. The key here is discernment. It also looks like there's a major release of old spiritual frameworks that were rooted in perfectionism or control rather than presence and partnership with the divine. Your invitation is to recommit to intimacy with God, not performance, to trust the whispers, and to let truth overtake theory. And legacy for the week of September 8th. When I tune into the energetics of legacy this week, I see a vision of someone opening this dusty journal that was on a shelf, one they haven't touched in years, and realizing it's full of ideas, dreams, and callings they wrote down so long ago but never acted on. This is a week of remembering what matters most, remembering the version of you who dreamed bigger and trusted deeper and believed it was possible. And it's not about starting from scratch either. It's about reclaiming what you were always meant to do and letting go of the parts of your life or identity that have distracted you from that truth. You might be pulled to revisit an idea that once lit you up, but you put it on hold. Make a bold decision that feels aligned with your long-term vision. Release something that's taking up space but not contributing to your future. Let this be your anchor question. What part of my vision am I fully ready to bring back to life and commit to fully this time? Because your legacy isn't some far off someday. It is created in the quiet recommitments that you make this week. There you have it, hot soul, your intuitive forecast for the week. Wishing you a week of divine breakthrough, embodied courage, and sacred follow through. Until next week.